Hello and welcome. And I'm Jayashree. I'm a consultant with Adhyayan. I've been with Adhyayan for more than 2.5 years now. And today with me, I have Neha, who is the director at Adhyayan. And also we have Annette and Gauri, who are really, really important for us for any webinars that we conduct because they take care of our logistics and all that is to do with the back end. So thank you, Annette and Gauri, as always. So let me start by welcoming you to today's Community of Practice session. And as we all know, and for the benefit of someone who is new today or come in for the first time, the Community of Practice was started in the month of April last year, when we were suddenly, plunged into this deep, dark ocean called virtual learning. And, so we started off with actually doing webinars and workshops to help and support schools in online and virtual learning. But very soon we realized that if we have to sustain in this new world of teaching and learning, the only way to kind of sail through is through collaboration and through peer support. So we started this community of practice every fortnight on a Saturday, and it is a free platform, as all of you know. So all these questions at that point in time, we were full of questions, and we were just looking for solutions. So we have learned along with all of us, with from one another, and we've been able to sustain. And today, after a year, when we are now looking at reopening schools, the current issue, the burning issue, is about what is blended learning. And so we thought the most apt theme for our community of practice would be, what does a blended school look like? And we've been doing the 6-part series on what does a blended school look like, and we've designed it in terms or in lines with the Adhyayan school review with 6 key performance areas. And so till today, we've completed 5 sessions, and all the 5 previous sessions were on leadership and management, curriculum, infrastructure and resources, teaching and learning, and the child. And today we are going to be having the final of the 6-part series. And today's KPA of the blended school is community and partnerships. So, well, community and partnerships. As educators, we've often talked a lot about the role and the importance of community support and engagement. But what do we really mean by this? As we all know, the old African proverb goes, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah, but you could imagine then it would take a whole community to raise a school. So we clearly know that schools cannot function in isolation. So we at least need the help of parents, certainly. And often we ask parents to attend parent teacher meetings. We tell them to buy books and stationery and supplies for their wards. We would also love for a local organization or a local business to kind of support school by providing resources, by sponsoring some events or helping us in our fundraising. But if you really, really kind of think about it, most of these are just transactional, whether it is with parents or whether it is with the local community. So, of course, these interactions are important. But the big question is it possible to go beyond this to a deeper engagement? And more importantly, how do we really sustain this deep engagement with families and the community for times to come? So in times of crisis, so like the one we just had during the pandemic and schools just suddenly went into lockdown. So in times of crisis like this, so if the school, the parents, the families, community, and all local organizations come together, and if they can take it upon themselves and as a combined responsibility and say that, yes, we are going to support student learning, we are going to see that education does not stop. So how do we build that kind of partnership with families and with communities? So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So in that sense, we know that it is extremely important that the community has a role in the functioning of a school. So before we move ahead, so I'm going to invite Annette to administer a poll for us. So it is time for us to just take a minute and reflect. So if you could just reflect about your own school, your own organization, and think about what are some of the following initiatives with respect to community and partnerships that you've been involved in your school in the past year. So there are 6 options. You can choose multiple options. So if you could just think, and what is it that you've been able to do in the past year? If you could just, check those options.
It's not accepting multiple options.
Oh, it's not? Oh,
No, actually, it's
okay.
trying.
Or maybe there is,
Yeah, it's only accepting a single option. So I think
Single
we have,
option.
we
Yeah.
have
it's
to
only,
prioritize and say this is the one thing we've
yes,
really been doing.
yeah. So if you could just prioritize and say, what is it that you've been able to really do well according to you?
Thanks, Neeta. All of these, fantastic. So आप अपना रिस्पॉन्स चैट पे भी डाल सकते हैं अगर कुछ भी आपको बताना है एंड ये चैट पूरा समय खुला है, चालू रहेगा. सो ड्यूरिंग द सेशन प्लीज फील फ्री आपके विचार यहाँ पर डालने के लिए, या कोई भी प्रश्न आपको पूछना है तो वो भी यहाँ पर डाल सकते हैं. Great. So,
The end polling?
yes.
Yeah. So we can see that I think collaborating with parents काफी आया है. I think most schools we were forced to collaborate with parents. So I think that is something that we couldn't have done without, and so very clearly showing there. And of course, the highest is probably involving parents in regular updates. So parents को regularly updates भेजना, classroom में क्या activities हो रहा है, assessments कब होंगे, इसका हम देख रहे हैं कि बहुत ज़्यादा 33%, which is the maximum here. So of course, we also have other things, like there are schools which have done inter-school work with other school students. We also see that there are schools that have brought in guest speakers and experts. So a lot of work has been done. Thank you for that. And so if we have to really see, if we have to do these kind of things and keep this engagement with communities going, it's not going to be really, it's not easy. We all know that, because we know, most of us as educators, we know that this is important and the role of community and partnerships is important. But probably what has been really difficult is to understand how to do it. And when you have parents who are not really going, who you feel are not supportive, then how do you go ahead? So that has been a real big challenge in most schools. So today we have 2 schools who are Adhyayan partner schools, and who are with us today, who are going to be sharing their stories. And also in Adhyayan, from all the reviews that we've done across the country for the last several years, so it is very clear that most schools, however much they know that it is important, there is a sense of fear when they have to face parents. So, and also similarly, when parents are asked about the school, very clearly they have a huge list of complaints about the school, rather than really telling what is really working for their kids and what is really something that they can appreciate about the school. So this has been there from the data that we have got from our school reviews. But these 2 Adhyayan partner schools that we have today are from very, of course, diverse backgrounds. One of them is from a rural Rajasthan area, a rural area from Rajasthan. The school is called Hunar Ghar. And the other one is Don Bosco International School from Mumbai. So in that sense, they are from very, very diverse backgrounds. They are from absolutely 2 ends of the spectrum. But what is really common to both of them is that they have really, really strived very hard and managed to make this parental collaboration a kind of reality for themselves. So they have a very strong parent community, both these schools, and the parent community actually demonstrates high ownership of everything that happens in the school. And this was very, very evident in the last 1 year, and we shall be very soon listening to their stories. And also another thing very, very commendable about these 2 schools is that they have this keen willingness to improve. they have this thirst for school transformation, and they have really been conducting this Adhyayan School self-review periodically and have worked consistently on what the school assessment data has thrown up for them. They have created action plans and they have worked on these action plans consistently. And Don Bosco International School has also conducted the professional growth program for teachers and leaders. And this kind of helped them further take their school to the next level of transformation, because every teacher had their own individual growth happening through this program. So in that sense, these two schools have really worked very hard, strived hard, and what they've been able to achieve over the last several years is parental collaboration and a strong engagement with the community. So we are really looking forward to hearing from them and learning what is it that helped them in this success story of theirs. Okay, let me first introduce Hunar Ghar team to you. From Hunar Ghar school, we have Ajit Sangia, who is the principal of the school. And we also have Kanan Silvera, who is the program manager. And we are delighted to have a parent of that school, who is Suresh Bumbraya. And he is a parent of 5 children. And all 5 children are studying at the Hunar Ghar school. And the children are from classes KG to class 7. And so in that sense,
just 1 minute, Jayashree. अजीत जी, वहाँ पर echo हो रहा है आपके वहाँ से. दो unit, 2 devices. हाँ, ठीक.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Suresh Bambraya, who is the parent of 5 children, and his children studying from classes KG to class 7. So in that sense, he's a parent who has a deep insight into how the school is working, because he has a perspective on the working of the school through the lens of, all 5 classes, starting from KG to class 7, all 7 classes. So we are delighted to have this team today. So सबसे पहले I would want to ask Kanan जी से मैं पूछना ये चाहती हूँ कि थोड़ा आपके स्कूल के बारे में, थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड के बारे में आप थोड़ा ब्रीफली बताएं कि कहाँ है, कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं, क्या है स्टाफ स्ट्रेंथ आपका, और आपकी लोकेशन में किस टाइप के चैलेंजेस आप थोड़ा बहुत फेस करते हैं स्कूल चलाने के लिए. 1-2 बातें इसके बारे में. कानन जी.
श्योर. थैंक यू जयश्री जी. सो मेरा नाम कानन है और मैं अध्ययन का शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ कि हमें ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी, ये प्लेटफॉर्म दिया कि हम हमारे स्कूल का कम्युनिटी पार्टनरशिप का जो हमारा काम है उसको हम प्रेजेंट कर सके, और हम अध्ययन से काफी साल से जुड़े हुए हैं. सो थैंक यू सो मच अगेन. सो हमारा जो स्कूल है हुनर घर, वो बाखेल विलेज में सिचुएटेड है, जो काफी रिमोट और मार्जिनलाइज कम्युनिटी है. नॉट ओनली रूरल, ये पूरा एक ट्राइबल बेल्ट है और ये उदयपुर से अबाउट 120 किलोमीटर है. करीब 2-2.5 घंटे लगते हैं वहां पर पहुंचने के लिए, और वहां पर सिर्फ प्राइवेट व्हीकल ही हम एक्सेस कर पाते हैं. गवर्नमेंट का वहां पर इतना व्हीकल भी एक्सेस है नहीं. और ये जो स्कूल है हमारा शुरू हुआ था 2007 में, और उसी साल में हमने फर्स्ट ईयर में ही बच्चों को वेलकम किया था स्कूल में. और उसके साथ अभी तक हमने करीब 800 बच्चों का एनरोलमेंट कंप्लीट किया है. और इससे पहले बच्चों के पास कोई भी एक रिलायबल एजुकेशन नहीं था एक्सेस. तो समझ लीजिए कि इन बच्चों के लिए हम एक चेंज मेकर की तरह भी काम कर रहे हैं. और स्कूल में हमारे 37 टीम मेंबर्स है, जिसमें हम टीचर, कुक, क्लीनर है और हेल्थ टीम भी है. हमने जीएनएम भी रखे क्योंकि वहाँ का जो हेल्थ एक्सेस है वो भी काफी पुअर है. तो हम बच्चों को वैक्सीनेशन, ग्रोथ मॉनिटरिंग, 2 टाइम का न्यूट्रिशन फूड प्रोवाइड करते हैं, और जो भी रेकमेंडेड हेल्थ सर्विस है वो भी हम उनको प्रोवाइड करते हैं. साथ में हम कम्युनिटी को भी हेल्थ सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हैं. हम मोबाइल क्लिनिक अरेंज करते हैं उनके लिए, और साथ ही स्कूल में हम बच्चों को प्ले, स्पोर्ट्स है, लाइब्रेरी सेशंस है, क्रिएटिव एक्टिविटीज है, ये सारा एक हमारा पार्ट होता है स्कूल टाइम टेबल का. और जो एरिया है जैसे आप फोटो में देख सकते हैं, तो काफी बैकवर्ड एरिया में है, जहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है, वाटर की काफी फैसिलिटी है। जैसे जब ये गर्मी शुरू हो जाती है तो हमें स्पेशली टैंकर बुलाने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि हमारा वेल से हम पानी मैनेज करते हैं, क्योंकि तब पानी भी नहीं रहता है। और इवन स्कूल में भी लाइट नहीं है, हम बस सोलर से ही क्लासरूम में तो लाइट नहीं है, बट सोलर से ही हमारा थोड़ा बहुत एडमिन काम करते हैं। तो वैसे तो हमारे पास काफी चैलेंजेस है, बट हम कोशिश करते हैं बच्चों को एक होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करने के लिए। थैंक यू। ओवर टू
थैंक
जयश्री
यू
जी।
कानन जी, थैंक यू। तो अजित जी, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जैसे हमने अभी कानन जी से सुना कि आपकी काफी वैसे नॉर्मल टाइम्स में इतने चैलेंजेस होते हैं, पर आप हमने सुना है कि आप जो पैंडेमिक के टाइम में, कोरोना लॉकडाउन के टाइम में आपके स्कूल में एजुकेशन चालू था, आपने फिर भी क्लासेस किए, बच्चों का मतलब एजुकेशन रोकना नहीं चाहते थे आप, तो आपने ये कैसे मैनेज किया, इसके बारे में आप थोड़ा बता सकते हैं? और इस प्रोसेस में आपने पेरेंट्स को कैसे इन्वॉल्व किया, वो
अजित
भी
जी,
थोड़ा बताएंगे तो अच्छा होगा।
अजित जी, आपके वहां से थोड़ा आप पहले तो सही था अपना आवाज, कोई 2 डिवाइस रखे हैं, 2 मोबाइल पे हैं?
नहीं,
हाँ बताएं अजित जी, बोलिए अभी आप।
जैसे तो ऑनलाइन के समय पे जैसे स्कूल हमारा लॉकडाउन टाइम में सभी स्कूल वगैरह बंद थी, तो उस समय से हमने देखा कि जैसे बच्चों का जैसे जो एजुकेशन है वो रेगुलर है, किस तरीके से हम कर सके। तो हमें जैसे सारे जैसे गवर्नमेंट और प्राइवेट स्कूलों का चल रहा था कि जैसे ऑनलाइन बच्चों को एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करवाए, लेकिन हमारे जो कम्युनिटी है और जो जिस बैकग्राउंड से बच्चे आते हैं, वहाँ पर जो पेरेंट्स के पास ना तो स्मार्टफोन है, ना ही उनके घर प्रॉपर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, और उनके पास में किसी भी प्रकार का अन्य सुविधाएं नहीं है जिससे हम उसको एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करवा सके। तो हमने जैसे हमारी टीम ने मिलकर के डिसाइड किया कि हम लॉकडाउन के समय भी जो बच्चों का जो एजुकेशन है उसको कैसे रेगुलर रखें। तो हमने जैसे हमारी टीम है बहुत तो उसमें सभी ने जैसे मिलकर के हमने डिसाइड था कि जैसे हमारे बच्चे हैं जो स्कूल से लगभग 7 किलोमीटर के राउंड से मतलब आते हैं स्कूल में, तो हमने इसके आसपास में हमने कम्युनिटी में 7 सेंटर जो डिसाइड किए थे, मतलब पेरेंट्स मिलकर के उनसे बातचीत करके कि हम बच्चों का जो एजुकेशन है उसको हम रेगुलर रखना चाहते हैं। तो हमने पेरेंट्स से मिला और उनसे बातचीत करी, पेरेंट्स ने भी हमको सहयोग किया और हमने कम्युनिटी में 7 सेंटर डिसाइड किए। उन 7 सेंटरों पे हमारे टीचर मतलब जाते थे और वहाँ पर कम्युनिटी में बच्चों को इकट्ठा करके वहाँ पर 2-2 घंटे उनको एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करवाते थे। और साथ ही जैसे एजुकेशन की लॉकडाउन के समय में जैसे कहीं से नहीं ला पा रहे थे, उनको कहीं सुविधा नहीं मिल रही थी, तो स्कूल ने मतलब उनको पूरी सुविधाएं प्रोवाइड करवाई और हमने जो लॉकडाउन के समय कम्युनिटी में रेगुलर बेस पे उनको एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड की। और अभी जैसे लॉकडाउन के समाप्त होने के बाद में 6 to 8 जो स्टूडेंट है वो स्कूल में आ रहे हैं और 1 to 5 है उनको अभी भी हम कम्युनिटी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं।
अच्छा, ओके। तो ये तो बहुत,
ओके।
तो इसमें आपको पेरेंट्स का बहुत सहयोग मिला। आपने जैसे कहा कि आपने पेरेंट्स के साथ मीटिंग की और पेरेंट्स ने माना, और पेरेंट्स के सपोर्ट के साथ आपने 7 कम्युनिटी सेंटर्स जहाँ पे आपने वो एजुकेशन बच्चों को दिलाया। तो ये जो पेरेंट्स के साथ मिलने के लिए या फिर कोई आपकी कोई मैनेजमेंट कमिटी है कि क्या है, उसके बारे में कोई टीम है, तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताएं कि क्या होता है इस टीम में, और कितनी बार आप मीटिंग्स करते हैं, और इस टीम के मेंबर्स कौन हैं, और कैसे ये आपको सपोर्ट करते हैं स्कूल के फंक्शन में।
इसमें जैसे मैम हमारा एक कमिटी के लिए हम जैसे पेरेंट्स जितने भी स्टूडेंट हैं हमारे, तो उनका हम किसी न किसी प्रकार से जब भी उनका एनरोलमेंट वगैरह होता है तो उनका जैसे उनकी फैमिली से है या फिर उनके घर में खुद का है, ऐसे कहीं अगर मोबाइल का कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर है तो हम एक तो वो लेकर के, दूसरी चीज़ ये कि हमारे अगर सप्ताह में जैसे 4 या 5 दिन नहीं आया स्कूल या कम्युनिटी सेंटर पे नहीं आया तो उसका हम होम विजिट करते हैं। एक तो जैसे टीचिंग स्टाफ भी कर रहा है, बाद में हमारा जो हेल्थ टीम है वो भी उनकी विजिट करता है। और इसके बाद में जो स्कूल का जैसे न्यूज़लेटर हमने चला रखा है, तो उसके मार्फत से भी हम जैसे पेरेंट्स को मतलब सारी सूचनाएँ पहुँचाते हैं और स्कूल में क्या क्या मतलब एजुकेशन वर्क हो रहा है उसकी सारी सूचना पहुँचाते हैं। तो उस तरीके से हमने जैसे पेरेंट्स से कम्युनिकेशन किया और पूरा मतलब उस पे वर्क किया और ये अभी रेगुलर मतलब इस बेस पे इसको चला रहे हैं हम।
अच्छा, तो ये जो ये होम विजिट्स के बारे में आप जो बात कर रहे हैं वो काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है। तो मैं अब सुरेश जी जो पेरेंट हैं, तो सुरेश जी से ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जब स्कूल से कोई आता है होम विजिट करने के लिए, तो पेरेंट्स क्या करते हैं? तो आप पेरेंट होने के नाते आपका क्या रोल है, क्या करते हैं? और स्कूल से जो आता है वो क्या कैसे किस टाइप का बात करते हैं और बच्चों को ये कैसे फायदा होता है, इसके बारे में थोड़ा बता सकते हैं सुरेश जी? आपके घर पे कोई स्कूल से कोई आया था कभी होम विजिट करने के लिए, तो क्या हुआ इसके बारे में?
हाँ, बड़ी याद की बात है एक तो इसके ऊपर भी हम ध्यान देते हैं कि भाई क्यों नहीं जा रहा है। तो कभी हमारी भी कोई बच्चा काम से रख दिया तो वो आके फिर बताते हैं भाई बच्चा घर पे रखना नहीं है और पढ़ाई जरूरी है।
हम्म।
तो उन को कंपनी में कैसा है क्या है वो भी बताते हैं। और के समय में जैसे आते हैं तो दे के जाते हैं घर घर पे कुछ वैसे जैसे वो कोई लिखने का काम है कोई मतलब लिखे बात को तो हमने भी इसको गौर की कि भाई यहाँ पढ़ाई जा रही है जैसे तैसे ही मतलब पढ़ाई उतनी नहीं चाहिए उतनी नहीं बच्चों की।
ओके, तो मुझे ये समझ में आ रहा है कि होम विजिट के टाइम पे स्कूल से जो भी आता है तो एक तो है कि पेरेंट्स को बताते हैं कि आपका बच्चा नहीं आ रहा है तो क्यों नहीं आ रहा है ये पूछने का वो है, और अगर पेरेंट्स भेजना नहीं चाहते हैं तो पेरेंट्स को भी थोड़ा बहुत एजुकेट करते हैं कि पढ़ाई जरूरी है और थोड़ा बच्चों को कैसे भेज के उनको क्या फायदा होता है इसका भी थोड़ा बहुत एक्सप्लेन करते हैं। तो दैट इज अ वेरी ग्रेट इनिशिएटिव आई थिंक बाय द स्कूल। तो होम अगर फोन या न्यूज़लेटर के थ्रू अगर पेरेंट्स को नहीं हो रहा है खबर तो होम घर पे ही जाके उनके साथ बात करना ये बहुत बड़ा इनिशिएटिव है। तो अजीत जी हमने ये भी सुना कि आपके स्कूल में स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमिटी एक है जिसमें पेरेंट्स बहुत ही एक्टिव हैं और स्कूल को बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट करते हैं। इस एसएमसी मीटिंग्स होती हैं और इसमें काफी डिसीजंस लिया जाता है स्कूल के लिए। तो ये एसएमसी के बारे में आप थोड़ा बता सकते हैं कि इसमें कितने मेंबर्स हैं और क्या होता है इस मीटिंग्स में?
Ajit, you'll have to unmute yourself.
जैसा कि एसएमसी है जो राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट के तहत तो मतलब
अजीत जी एक्चुअली नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है ठीक तरह से। आपको वीडियो ऑफ कर रखना है तो थोड़ा बैंडविड्थ सेव हो जाए।
आप वीडियो ऑफ कर दीजिए अजीत जी।
ठीक है,
आपके 2 डिवाइस चालू है वहां पे।
वही
नहीं है मैं एक ही है पर प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है। आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ,
हाँ।
आ रही है,
अब आ रही है ना?
आ रही है, आ रही है।
जैसा कि जो आरटी के रूल्स के अनुसार जैसे प्रत्येक जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल है प्राइवेट स्कूल है सभी में जैसे स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमेटी का होना अनिवार्य है। वैसा ही जैसे हमारा जो मतलब स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमेटी है वो विद्यालय विकास और विद्यालय में जैसे पेरेंट्स की सहभागिता को बढ़ाने का जो शिक्षण कार्य है उसके लक्ष्य को बढ़ाने का कार्य करती है और उसमें उसका महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका होती है। वैसे ही हमारे हुनरगंज भी 2013 से एसएमसी का गठन किया गया था और 2013 से रेगुलर बेस पे मतलब 2-2 साल के अंतराल में हम नई एसएमसी का गठन करते हैं। और अभी वर्तमान में जो हमारे एसएमसी का जो टीम है उसमें 16 मेंबर हैं, जिसमें 12 पेरेंट्स हैं, एक प्रधानाध्यापक, एक स्कूल का टीचर और 2 स्टूडेंट्स। और एसएमसी विद्यालय की जो वार्षिक योजनाएं हैं, इसके अलावा हम विद्यालय के जो मेंटेनेंस पर हम जो भी बजट होता है उसके बारे में, इसके बाद में विद्यालय के मतलब उन सदस्यों से हम एसएमसी के सदस्यों से सुझाव लेते हैं और उन पर हम कार्य करते हैं। और एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे हम कह सकते हैं जैसे एसएमसी का जो पिछली बार हमारा जैसे सुझाव आया था कि हमारे विद्यालय में 1 to 8 तक हमारा जैसे स्कूल है। तो उसमें जैसे 6 to 8 के जैसे स्टूडेंट हैं उनके लिए बैठने के लिए जैसे बेंच वगैरह की सुविधाएँ थी। और 1 to 5 के जैसे बच्चे थे उनके लिए नहीं थी मतलब ऐसी सुविधा। तो जैसे एसएमसी का सुझाव आया था कि 1 to 5 के बच्चे हैं जैसे छोटे बच्चे उनके लिए भी डेस्क वगैरह की ऐसी व्यवस्था की जाए। तो स्कूल ने उनकी जो सुझाव था उस पर गौर किया और उस पर जैसे टीम ने जैसे डिसीजन लिया कि 1 to 5 के जो बच्चे हैं उनके लिए भी छोटे डेस्क वगैरह उनको भी सुविधा प्रोवाइड करवाई जाए। वैसे ही हम एसएमसी के जो मीटिंग है वैसे हमारे विद्यालय में नियमित तौर पर प्रति माह होती है। बट अभी लॉकडाउन के टाइम में हमने इसको क्वार्टरली किया है क्योंकि हम इसको रेगुलर बेस पे जैसे स्कूल पे नहीं कर पा रहे थे और कुछ छोटे-छोटे समूह में हमने कम्युनिटी में किया था।
अच्छा।
तो ये सारी सुविधाएँ जैसे हम इन पे सुविधाओं पे और प्लस जो विद्यालय की आवश्यकताएँ हैं उस पर जैसे एसएमसी के जो टीम है उसका और पूरी स्कूल की टीम मिलकर के कार्य करते हैं। और जो एसएमसी के जो टीम है एसएमसी है वो विद्यालय की शिक्षण कार्य और अन्य जो वर्क होते हैं जैसे मेंटेनेंस वगैरह के उनका भी मतलब ध्यान रखती है। और
ओके।
एसएमसी के माध्यम से ही विद्यालय में जैसे शिक्षा की व्यवस्था पर और बाल विकास है, समुदाय की सहभागिता को भी हम मतलब बढ़ा सकते हैं। और एसएमसी एक ऐसा माध्यम है जिसमें स्कूल की टीम इसके बाद में पेरेंट्स है और स्टूडेंट सभी मतलब एक मंच पर अपने विचारों को साझा कर सकते हैं और उस पर वर्क कर सकते हैं। एकमात्र जो ऐसा मतलब बहुत ही अच्छा माध्यम कह सकते हैं अपन एसएमसी को। और हमारी जो एसएमसी की जो टीम है उसमें हम एसएमसी के 3 सदस्यों को एम्बेसडर के रूप में चुनते हैं। जो मतलब स्कूल में होने वाली मासिक जो शैक्षणिक गतिविधियाँ वो प्लस सह-शैक्षणिक गतिविधियाँ होती है उनका मतलब मासिक उनका ऑब्जर्वेशन करते हैं और नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में आकर के अन्य सदस्यों के साथ में वो उन्होंने क्या ऑब्जर्व किया और उनके क्या मतलब सुझाव थे वो अन्य सदस्यों के साथ में भी वो अ चर्चा करते हैं और उस पर सभी टीम मिल कर के विचार करती है और उस पर डिसीजन लिया जाता है।
ओह! वाह! ये तो बहुत अच्छा लगा सुना। आपका तो लगता है कि आपका एसएमसी या स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमिटी बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग है और मुझे तो इसकी ये ख़ासियत लगती है कि इसमें स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं आपके एसएमसी में। ये बहुत ही अच्छी बात है। सभी स्टेक होल्डर स्कूल से प्रिंसिपल और स्कूल के सदस्य हैं और पेरेंट्स हैं और स्टूडेंट्स भी हैं। तो ये बहुत ही बड़ा अच्छा स्टेप लिया है आपने। और एक और ख़ासियत है कि आप पूरा बजटरी डिसीजंस भी लेते हैं। दैट मीन्स काफ़ी ट्रांसपेरेंसी है आपके स्कूल में। ये एक बहुत अच्छी बात है जो पेरेंट्स के साथ आप सब कुछ शेयर करते हैं। और आपने ये भी कहा कि एनुअल प्लान, वार्षिक प्लान जो है वो भी इनके साथ बैठ के आप ये करते हैं और इसको फिर इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं। आई थिंक ये 2-3 चीज़ें जो आपकी एसएमसी जो करती है इसकी वजह से काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग है आपकी एसएमसी। And for schools probably that don't know how to start with parental and community engagement, I think probably this is the first step. Probably एक टीम क्रिएट करके जिसमें सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं और उनके साथ एक एनुअल प्लान बनाना और उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना, probably that is the first step to get into really initiating community engagement initiatives. So बहुत अच्छा लगा अजीत जी आपका ये एसएमसी के बारे में सुन के। अब कानन जी मैं आपसे एक थोड़ा बहुत और पूछना चाहती हूँ कि आपके स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो कैसे कम्युनिटी में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, क्या क्या तरीके हैं, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट वेज इन विच यू इन्वॉल्व स्टूडेंट्स इन द कम्युनिटी?
या श्योर मैम। सो हम बिलीव करते हैं कि बच्चों को जितना प्रैक्टिकल सिखाएंगे उतना जल्दी वो सीखेंगे। तो हम कम्युनिटी और स्टूडेंट को इस तरीके से एंगेज करते हैं कि हम कुछ स्पेशल इवेंट्स भी ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं, जैसे कि हम उसको संगत कहते हैं। तो हम ऐसे संगत में एक हमारा वहाँ का कल्चरल प्रोग्राम कह सकते हैं जिसमें पेरेंट्स को बुलाते हैं और बच्चे फेयर वगैरह ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं जिसमें वो उनका स्टॉल लगाते हैं। तो कहीं खाने का भी लगाते हैं, कुछ उन्होंने जो कुछ बनाना सीखा है वो सारा करते हैं। साइंस फेयर वगैरह भी उसमें हम इन्वॉल्व करते हैं और साथ में हम बच्चों को कम्युनिटी में ले जाते हैं, जिसको हम कहते हैं चाइल्ड लर्निंग मॉर्निंग। एवरी फ्राइडे को ये होता है कि बच्चों ने जो क्लास में सीखा है उसका प्रॉपर फॉर्मेटिंग वगैरह होता है, बच्चों को दिया जाता है, और बच्चे जो है वो फॉर्मेट में उनके क्वेश्चन आर जो भी है वो जो पढ़ा है उसके बेस पे क्वेश्चन आर तैयार करते हैं और कम्युनिटी में उनको लेकर जाते हैं, और कम्युनिटी से ही वो सवाल जवाब करते हैं, मतलब कम्युनिटी से ही वो सीखते हैं। तो इससे पेरेंट्स को भी पता चलता है कि भाई हमारे बच्चे क्या सीख रहे हैं और कितना वो टीचर उनके लिए मेहनत कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर खेती के रिलेटेड, फार्मिंग के रिलेटेड कोई टॉपिक आया है, या इंग्लिश में माय फैमिली के रिलेटेड, तो बच्चों को कम्युनिटी में ले जाते हैं और फिर बताते हैं कि उनको फार्मिंग में ले जाकर जो फार्मर है वो खुद उनको बताता है किस तरीके से खेती होती है, पहले क्या होता है, फिर बीच में, बाद में, जो उसका पूरा प्रोसेस है, और जितनी भी इंफॉर्मेशन वो दे सकते हैं वो बच्चों को इस माध्यम से देते हैं। तो बच्चे प्रैक्टिकल भी सीखते हैं और साथ में एक जो एंगेजमेंट है वो भी काफी बढ़ता है, और पेरेंट्स को भी अच्छा लगता है कि उनके बच्चे हैं जो कम्युनिटी में आ रहे हैं और वहां से कुछ सीख रहे हैं। और सेकंड हमारा होता है चाइल्ड लर्निंग डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन डे, जो हम कभी स्पेशल भी ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं या हम उनको संगत में भी इन्वॉल्व करते हैं, कि बच्चों ने जो सीखा है उसको वो एज अ प्ले या तो सिंगिंग के द्वारा वो उनको प्रेजेंट करते हैं। जैसे कि कोई हिंदी में कहानी आई है, और जैसे कि शौर्य मंडल का जो टॉपिक होता है शॉलर का, तो उसमें बच्चे पूरा वो टैग बना करके और उसको प्रेजेंट करते हैं प्रैक्टिकली, तो उसमें भी कम्युनिटी देखती है कि हाँ बच्चे इस तरीके से मतलब सीख रहे हैं। तो ऐसे हम बच्चों को कम्युनिटी में ले जाते हैं और इस तरीके से बच्चों को एंगेज करते हैं।
Oh, थैंक यू, दैट वाज, दोस वर ग्रेट एग्जांपल्स। आई थिंक जो बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं घर स्कूल में, वो भी बाहर उनको शेयर करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और आपने जैसे कहा कि बाहर के एक्सपर्ट्स जो हैं, फार्मर हो या जो भी है, तो बाहर के आउटसाइड द क्लासरूम जो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, वो भी अगर बच्चों को सिखाते हैं तो इनका नॉलेज,
यस,
इट इज लाइक कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग द टीचर। सो आई थिंक वो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग वे ऑफ एजुकेटिंग स्टूडेंट्स है, जिससे उनको पता चले कि हमारे टीचर ही नहीं खाली बस, बट बाहर भी एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, बाहर के लोगों से भी हम सीख सकते हैं।
सीख
आई
लेते
थिंक
हैं।
दैट इज अ ग्रेट आइडिया टू हैव कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट। थैंक यू सो मच। एंड एक और आपने ये भी कहा था शुरू में कि आपके पेरेंट कम्युनिटी जो है वो इलिटरेट है और अनएजुकेटेड है, तो आप उनको कैसे एजुकेट करते हैं और उनको कैसे, उनके लिए उनका एम्पावरमेंट, पेरेंट एम्पावरमेंट के लिए आपके स्कूल में क्या क्या है तरीके, उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताएंगे?
या श्योर। सो हम ये भी बिलीव करते हैं कि कम्युनिटी का लो एंगेजमेंट शायद इसलिए होता है कि उनको नॉलेज नहीं है या अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, उनको शायद उनके रोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज अ पेरेंट्स क्या है वो अगर नहीं पता है। तो हम कोशिश करते हैं कि हम पेरेंट्स के साथ इस तरीके के एक्टिविटीज करें कि जिससे उनको पता चले कि उनके भी क्या रोल्स है। सिर्फ ये नहीं कि बच्चों को सिर्फ स्कूल में भेज दिया तो हो गया काम, उनकी भी जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज है उसमें हम ज्यादातर, जैसे कि मेल पेरेंट्स है वो ज्यादा अगर इन्वॉल्व नहीं हो पाते, तो हम मदर्स जो है उनको ज्यादा से ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व करते हैं, क्योंकि मदर्स होती है वो सबसे ज्यादा बच्चों के करीब में रहती है। तो हम क्या सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप भी बनाया, जिसमें थोड़ा सा महिलाओं को हम उसके द्वारा सारे इंफॉर्मेशन वगैरह प्रोवाइड करते हैं, और हम उनको योगा सेमिनार भी प्रोवाइड करते हैं। जैसे कि हमारे स्कूल में गर्ल्स के लिए योगा चलता है, तो उसमें हम जो विमेन्स हैं उनको भी इन्वॉल्व करते हैं इस योगा सेमिनार के लिए। और जब भी हमें मौका मिलता है, जैसे हमने कुछ अभी रिसेंटली हमने चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन पॉलिसी पे वर्चुअली सेमिनार करवाया था, तो उसमें भी हमने पेरेंट्स को इन्वॉल्व किया था, क्योंकि अभी बच्चे घर पे हैं तो ये सेफ गार्डिंग काफी बड़ा इश्यू है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि इस चीज से पेरेंट्स भी अवेयर रहे कि बच्चों का सेफ गार्डिंग कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है और वो कैसे इंश्योर कर सकते हैं। तो इसके माध्यम से अगर 10 पेरेंट्स भी इन्वॉल्व होते हैं तो वो आगे 10 को बताएंगे, फिर 10 को, ऐसे एक चेन भी बनती जाती है। तो हम कोशिश करते हैं सारे पेरेंट्स अगर नहीं आते तो कुछ पेरेंट्स को भी हम इन्वॉल्व करके इस तरीके से ये सेमिनार वगैरह उनके लिए अरेंज करते हैं।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच। तो आई जस्ट वांट टू टेक दिस फॉरवर्ड टू सुरेश जी। मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि जैसे कानन जी ने कहा कि बाहर फार्मर्स, कृषि हो या कोई और हो, बाहर से भी एक्सपर्ट्स को ढूंढ के फिर स्कूल बोलते हैं उनको कि बच्चों को कुछ पढ़ाए। तो आप काफी इंटरेस्टेड पेरेंट हो, आप ऐसा पेरेंट एक हो स्कूल के जिसने बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट लिया है स्कूल के लिए और बच्चों के एक्टिविटीज के लिए, तो आपने कभी ऐसे कुछ बच्चों को कुछ सिखाया है, पढ़ाया है? तो आपको कभी स्कूल ने ऐसे कुछ कोई एक क्लास के लिए बुलाया है क्या?
जी हमने बताया ना,
तो
वही जैसे मैं बाहर काम करता हूँ हलवाई का, जैसे कोई खाना बनाने का काम करता हूँ, तो वो मतलब मेरे को बुलाया कि भाई आप यहाँ आओ और बताओ बच्चों को। तो सामग्री मतलब सभी यहाँ पे है, तो मैं आया तो फिर इनको सबको बताया भाई सब्जी कैसे बनाते हैं या फिर किस तरीके से बनाते हैं, तो उसको इसके बारे में मैंने बताया। तो पहले इसको धुलाई करो, फिर उसकी मतलब कटिंग ऐसी अच्छी तरीके से होनी चाहिए कि सीधी सीधी नहीं, मतलब वो बनने के बाद में भी वो अच्छा दिखे। मैंने उनको मतलब ध्यान से बताया, मतलब कि आज इसमें इतना डलता है, इतना मिर्च डलता है, इतना नमक डलता है, इतना तेल डलता है। फिर इस सामग्री को तैयार करके फिर मैंने उसको बताया बच्चों को।
तो बच्चे आपके रसोई घर में आए थे क्या, कि आप स्कूल में गए जाके बच्चों को क्लास किया?
जी रसोई घर में ही मैंने बताया।
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके, थैंक यू सो मच। तो कोई और तरीका है क्या पेरेंट्स के साथ, जैसे बच्चों ने क्या पढ़ा है वो तो आप बच्चे जाके बाहर जाके शेयर करते हैं, पर बच्चों का रेगुलरली जो क्या हो रहा है क्लास में, या फिर टेस्ट कब होते हैं, एग्जाम कब हो रहे हैं, बच्चे कैसे कर रहे हैं, उनका क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट हो रहा है, किस कहाँ पे उनको थोड़ा और ध्यान देना है, इसके बारे में आप कैसे पेरेंट्स के साथ रेगुलरली कैसे, हाउ डू यू कीप इन टच? अजीत जी या कनन जी, कोई भी एक जनाब में से कोई अगर ये समझाएं कि क्या है, व्हाट आर द प्रोसेसेस, प्रैक्टिसेस, प्रोसीजर्स जिसके थ्रू आप पेरेंट्स के साथ कॉन्स्टेंटली टच में रहते हैं बच्चों की पढ़ाई के बारे में।
अजीत जी।
हाँ हाँ जी मैम, जैसे पेरेंट्स के साथ में हम स्कूल किस तरीके से मतलब उनके साथ में एजुकेशन का वर्क कर रहा है, उसके लिए हम पेरेंट्स का एक जैसे पीटीएम करते हैं, पेरेंट्स टीचर मीटिंग भी करते हैं। और उसमें जैसे हमारा जैसे विद्यालय में जैसे ज़्यादातर क्या है, पेरेंट्स लोग हैं जो एक तो ग्रामीण इलाके में, और यहाँ के जो पेरेंट्स हैं वो इतने एजुकेटेड नहीं है मतलब, और उनका जैसे मुख्य काम है जैसे कृषि से जुड़े हुए हैं वो, तो उनको इतना जैसे एजुकेशन के बारे में नॉलेज नहीं है। तो हम हुनरगर हमारा ये प्रयास करता है कि जो बच्चों को जिस प्रकार से यहाँ पर जो एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड किया जा रहा है, और शिक्षा के साथ में जो हेल्थ की जो सुविधाएं प्रोवाइड की जा रही है, तो उसको हम पीटीएम के दौरान उनको पेरेंट्स को बुलाते हैं और उसके दौरान हम सारी जानकारी उनको देते हैं।
ओके, अच्छा, पीटीएम होता है। और कोई तरीका होता है जिससे आप पेरेंट्स से पूछते हैं क्या है, जैसे फीडबैक लेना, कैसे आप पेरेंट्स से फीडबैक लेते हैं, कुछ वो किस तरीके से लेते हैं, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट वेज जिससे आपको पेरेंट्स से सजेशंस आता है? आपको एसएमसी मीटिंग होती है, पर एसएमसी मैनेजमेंट कमिटी एक छोटा सा ही ग्रुप होगा पेरेंट्स का, पर पूरे 800 स्टूडेंट्स हैं आपके, तो पूरे 800 स्टूडेंट्स के पेरेंट्स से थोड़ा बहुत टच में रखना और उनसे सजेशन लेने का क्या तरीका है आपको?
तो मैं बता सकती हूँ। तो इसमें मैम ये है कि हम जैसे कि पेरेंट्स जब भी स्कूल प्रोग्राम में आते हैं, पीटीएम के लिए आते हैं, तो हम उनसे उस टाइम पे या तो उसके बाद में उनसे हम बातचीत करते हैं कि आपको कैसा लगा, क्या हमें और इम्प्रूवमेंट की जरूरत है, इस तरीके से हम फीडबैक लेते हैं। और साथ ही में हम रेगुलर फ्रिक्वेंटली हम सर्वे ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं कि जिससे हमें मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती रहे कि कम्युनिटी में क्या चल रहा है और हमें और क्या इंफॉर्मेशन की जरूरत है, कहाँ हमें इम्प्रूवमेंट की जरूरत है, कहाँ गैप हो रहा है। जैसे हमने 2015 में एक मिनी सेंसस सर्वे किया था, जिसमें हमने पूरा गांव का सर्वे किया था, जिससे हमें काफी इंफॉर्मेशन पता चली थी, कितने मेल फीमेल है, कितने एजुकेशन का क्या लेवल है। एंड देन इससे हमें काफी बेनिफिट हुआ था कि हमने जो बच्चे, छोटे बच्चे हैं जो अभी बालवाड़ी किंडरगार्टन के लिए अब रेडी है, तो हमने उस सर्वे के बेस पे उस पे फोकस किया था। और सेकंड हमने गर्ल चाइल्ड एजुकेशन पे फोकस किया था। तो हम 50-50 का रेशियो सोचते हैं, लेकिन हम इस साल 41% अचीव कर पाए हैं कि हमारे एरिया, हमारे स्कूल में 41% गर्ल्स है। तो ऐसे हम सर्वे और फीडबैक्स वगैरह करते लेते रहते हैं, जिससे हमें हमारे जो एम्स है, गोल जो भी स्कूल के हैं, वो हम अचीव कर सके।
ओह वंडरफुल। अच्छा, तो आप अभी तो 15-20 मिनट से हम आपकी बात सुन रहे हैं और ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे आपका और कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट और पेरेंट्स के साथ आपका बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग रिलेशनशिप है और आपने काफी इनिशिएटिव्स स्टार्ट किया है और उसको सस्टेन, थोड़ा बहुत धीरे बहुत सस्टेन, उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाते भी जा रहे हैं, तो ये तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है. So I think I would give the audience a minute or two to ask some questions that come up in your mind. Audience, अगर कोई आपके मन में कोई questions है तो आप अजीत जी या सुरेश जी या इनसे कनव जी से कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं. आपको अगर पूछना है तो पूछिए. Or you can also type your question in the chat. We'll just take a minute here. हमने क्या क्या सुना? हमने ये तो सुना कि आपका पेरेंटल कोलैबोरेशन है, स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमिटी बहुत स्ट्रांग है जिसके और उनकी मीटिंग्स होती हैं, एनुअल प्लान बनता है, बजटरी डिसीजंस होता है थ्रू द एसएमसी, और आपके बच्चे बाहर कम्युनिटी में जाके अपना लर्निंग डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करते हैं, और कम्युनिटी से भी आप बाहर से भी एक्सपर्ट्स बुलाते हैं, फार्मर्स हो या जैसे सुरेश जी हैं रसोई हैं, वो भी ऐसे भी आपके बाहर से भी आके आपके बच्चों के साथ आप वो आके एजुकेट करते हैं, और आप आपका जो पेरेंट्स के साथ भी एम्पावरिंग के लिए पेरेंट्स कम्युनिटी बिकॉज दे नीड एम्पावरमेंट, आप उनके लिए भी वर्कशॉप्स करते हो और काफी कुछ हो रहा है आपके स्कूल में. सो द होल आइडिया इज यू डोंट एग्जिस्ट इन आइसोलेशन. आपका और कम्युनिटी का गिव एंड टेक बहुत ही ज्यादा है और उसकी वजह से आपका एंगेजमेंट बहुत स्ट्रांग है. सो दिस इज अ वेरी great example of how community and partnerships should be for schools. So if we could now kind of
there's a question I think here that क्या ये जो आप teachers काम करते हैं क्योंकि पेरेंट्स एजुकेटेड नहीं हैं तो ज़्यादा, तो जो जितना होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी स्कूल पे आता है, क्या वो टीचर्स को लगता है कि ये बहुत ज़्यादा बर्डन है उन पे, उनके काम से ज़्यादा, आई मीन जितना उनको काम करना पड़ता है उससे ज़्यादा उनको काम करना पड़ रहा है इसके लिए?
नहीं नो. सो कविता मैम, नो, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. जो कम्युनिटी में जो भी काम वगैरह हो रहा है वो एक स्कूल का पार्ट ही है. जैसे कि अजीत जी ने बताया था कि हम एक एनुअल प्लान तैयार करते हैं जिसमें हमारा डिसाइडेड होता है और उसको एसएमसी के साथ भी हम डिस्कस करते हैं, और एक डिसाइडेड होता है कि कैलेंडर तैयार होता है कि कौन से मंथ में क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज होने वाली होती है. तो टीचर काफी अवेयर होते हैं कि ये चीजें होने वाली है, तो उनको ये ज्यादा बर्डन नहीं लगता. जैसे मैंने बताया कि जो चाइल्ड लर्निंग मॉर्निंग है वो एवरी फ्राइडे को होता है, तो टीचर को पता है कि हमें फ्राइडे को ये चीज करनी है, तो उसके लिए वो प्रिपेयर रहते हैं.
और 1 मिनट में अगर आप बता सकते हैं लोगों को, क्योंकि उनको पता नहीं है स्कूल कैसे शुरू हुआ था, तो बस 1 मिनट में कि कैसे शुरू हुआ और कौन चलाता है ऐसे?
या सो ये एडुकेट फॉर लाइफ है, यूके चैरिटी है जो उन्होंने इसका शुरुआत किया था, और इंडिया बेस पे राजस्थान बाल कल्याण समिति है जो लीगली इस स्कूल का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करते हैं, और एड फॉरेस्ट एंड डॉक्टर अक्षय पटेल है जिसके फाउंडर है. तो उन्होंने ही यहाँ पर इनफैक्ट जो एड फॉरेस्ट है उन्होंने ही काफी स्कूल बनाने में श्रमदान दिया हुआ है, और स्कूल का डिजाइन वगैरह भी उन्होंने ही तैयार किया था.
तो ये स्कूल कुछ लोग आके बना के गए थे कि वो कैसे बना, किसने बनाया इसे?
जो एड फॉरेस्ट है वो उनके साथ ही, और जो कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं उन्होंने ही उनका श्रमदान दे करके ये स्कूल बनाया था.
लाइक हमें बना हुआ है
ये स्कूल हमारा बेसिकली मड, जो मिट्टी कहते हैं, मिट्टी और लोकल पत्थर, उससे ही बना है. और बिलीव ये थी कि बच्चे जिस बैकग्राउंड से आ रहे हैं, जिस लोकेशन से, जैसे उनका घर का माहौल है वैसा ही माहौल उन्हें क्लासरूम में मिले. जैसे उनके घर मिट्टी के बने हैं वैसे ही हमने क्लासरूम मिट्टी के बनाए हैं. उनके घर में फैन नहीं है तो हमारे क्लासरूम में भी फैन नहीं है, लेकिन इस तरीके से बनाया है कि प्रॉपर वेंटिलेशन मिले और हवा मतलब मिलती रहे.
थैंक यू कानन. आपके साथ जुड़ने में हमें जितनी खुशी हो रही है, you can't imagine. We've been with the school for a very long time now.
Yes.
And we have seen it growing from the first room being put up to a full-fledged school with 800 children. So
Yes.
it's one of our proudest moments to partner with Hunar Ghar, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Ajit,
you.
and thank you, Kanan.
Thank you, Kanan. So, Neha has put up a link. If you can see on the chat, it is a Mentimeter link. So, we invite you to go to that link and just type in what struck you about Hunar Ghar. Any reflections? I mean, just reflect for half a minute and anything that struck you, and what are some of the learnings that we've going to take away after listening to this team. Let's take a minute for this. I hope you're able to open the Mentimeter link. If you're not able to, please reach out.
And we've got lots of comments on the chat.
Yeah.
That it's very inspiring, superb work. Kanan, Ajit ji, I hope all of you can see the chat. बहुत प्रशंसा हो रही है आपके काम के लिए और जो आप कम्युनिटी के साथ एंगेजमेंट कर रहे हैं, जिससे obviously students बहुत अच्छा learn कर रहे हैं. So thank you very much for making it today. एंड जैसे सब अपना थॉट्स यहाँ पर डाल रहे हैं, क्विकली आपको पानी पीने की जरूरत लगे तो जाकर प्लीज सब अपना एक ग्लास ऑफ वाटर भी ग्रैब कर लीजिएगा, क्योंकि ये तो हमने एक स्कूल को सुना है अब तक, और एंड वी हैव अनदर स्कूल आल्सो विद एन इक्वली इंस्पायरिंग स्टोरी दैट्स जो हम हमसे शेयर करेंगे. So keep your comments flowing. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, comments on the Mentimeter as well as on the chat. So please keep doing. So as you are doing, so I think I will just quickly introduce our second school. Second school is Don Bosco International School and in Mumbai. So today we have Father Crispino D'Souza, who is the director of Don Bosco International School, with his team, with Mina Saldana, who is the principal, Edgar Mascarenas, who is the director of sports in Don Bosco International. And we also have a very, very enthusiastic and energetic parent from that school, who is Swati Panchmatia. So we will be listening to them as to how they keep their parental involvement and their community engagement going. And first, let's also listen to them about how they have kept it going during the pandemic time. So Meena, so let me start with you. So we all know that, again, home, school, community partnerships are important, but most of the time, most schools we see actually fall flat in one area, that is how to do it. So we've heard about this from Hunar Ghar. So can we now listen to you also? How do you do this? What are some of the ways, some of the practices, procedures that you have in place to do this, to keep this school community and families engaged?
Thank you, Jayashree. Good evening to all the attendees, and thank you, Adhyan, for inviting Don Bosco International School to share their best practices on your platform. Yes, speaking about communities and partnerships, it was not a cakewalk at DBIS, although our parents are all Most of them, in fact, are the alumni of Don Bosco High School. So when we started, there were some issues. For example, the pedagogy. We had changed from an CAI curriculum to a IB curriculum, and the understanding of pedagogy with the parents was an issue. The other issue was there were a lot of rapid changes in the school in the first 3 years. So we needed to build bridges and we needed to reinstall or instill the faith of Don Bosco schools in our parents. So that was our journey when we started. There were a lot of issues and we slowly got to getting them the way it is now. Initially, when we started, we had also the school review done by Adyan, and the school review also pointed out that our community relationships could require a little more attention. And we took it very seriously from then on. At the end of 2018, when we had our last session with the PTA, we had over 52 suggestions, concerns raised by the PTA. It shocked us, and we realized that, yes, we need to do something about this. And from the following year, as a team, we decided that we'll have monthly PTA meetings with our class representatives. From then on, we started monthly PTA meetings where every grade representative shared the concerns of their grade, be it the curriculum, be it the discipline, be it the teaching practices, whatever be it, they were raised at the PTA meeting. At the following meeting, of course, we minuted the meetings and shared it with our parents every month. And at the following meeting, we discussed the action plan on the concerns that were raised. And if some concerns were not taken up, we also told them why they were not taken up. So that got the confidence of our parents. And slowly they started opening up, and it became a monthly affair of PTAs with the parents. Their suggestions, opinions were taken. When we had plans for the following year, which we also discussed with them, plans regarding changes in infrastructure, plans regarding changes in pedagogy, plans regarding changes in curriculum, were all discussed with the parents, and then we listened to their suggestions and implemented the ones which we could when we had to start with the work in the following year. Similarly, we also had a coffee with me session, which always has been happening from the time the school has started. That is for around in, I think twice in each term, we have 2 coffee with me sessions and 2 consultations with the parents. So basically the meeting with the entire parent body is for 4 occasions in each term. At a coffee with me session, a teacher sits along with the class parents discussing the issues of the class. Those issues are not academic issues. Those are issues related to the behavior, class problems, the little issues which children have with their peers in the class. It may be concerns regarding class management of the teachers. So every issue other than academics is discussed at these coffee with me sessions, after which the teachers give the feedback to the core team of the school, which takes it up as an issue or a concern to be looked at. In the coffee with me sessions, we not only discuss the issues of the children, we also need to educate our parents on the pedagogy of the school, which is the primary years pedagogy or the CIE curriculum that happens in the secondary, or the IBDP which happens in 11th and 12th. So we also discuss at these coffee with me sessions things like the ATL skills that the children require. We discuss the assessment strategies which the school will be using, so on and so forth. As I said, other than academic issues. All academic issues are taken only at the consultation. At the beginning of the year, we also make our parents fill a Google form which tells us about their occupation, their qualifications, and their other skills. And this Google form then gives us the data when we are looking at parents addressing our children during their inquiries on topics which we require specialists to come and talk to them on. These inquiries could be about, maybe sometimes it's food, then we'll call a dietitian parent. If it's looking at community practices, we'll call a corporator, or any parent of the school is always invited as a resource person in the school to share his knowledge with our children. Not only the parents, we also invite our grandparents. When we have a Mother Tongue Day, or we are teaching them the inquiry, or we are having the inquiry on stories, we do call our grandparents also to share their stories in their mother tongue with our children. Also, we celebrate a special day for grandparents, so they also remain connected as a community with the school. Other than that, our PTA is very active in conducting the cultural events in our school. So be it the Ras Garba, be it Mistletoe Magic, or whether it is a Teacher's Day celebration, or it may also be a science exhibition. They are all a part of these celebrations in the school. Recently, of course, at the end of February, when we are celebrating the National Science Week, it was, we were again on an online platform, but we decided we'll go ahead with the exhibition. So we had parents in the primary involved with their children, helping the children explain their projects. It was such a beautiful feeling when the parents were so involved with the learning of their children, not only at the exhibitions. We also have what is called as a genius hour in the primary, where it's more about science. So in genius hour also, when it involves projects, the children are little, and now we are doing everything on the online platform. There's a lot of involvement of parents in their children's learning. So if our children are learning, along with them, the parents are also learning too. Now I speak
So I
about,
think, yeah, so what I'm hearing is, Meena, there is high ownership amongst your parents for all that happens in your school.
yeah,
So they
absolutely.
take part in everything. They are out there, not just in academics, but even in non-academic activities. So that is wonderful. And we also heard that you have experts from the community come to your school. So, and also not just no, community, even parents and families like grandparents also. So that's a great example out there. So what are some of the ways in which your students go out into the community? Now we heard about how the community comes inside the school, parents and others inside the school, but what are some of the ways in which your students are engaged with the local community? Could you give us some
You
examples of
want me
that?
to speak about our CAS initiatives, but I thought I'll share a little more about how we improved our communication with parents during the pandemic. Can I
Yes.
speak about that?
Yeah,
Then
sure.
I'll take you to the CAS program after that, Jaish.
Yeah, okay.
So during the pandemic, one concern was also the communication with the parents. So the school adopted at that time two platforms. One was ManageBack and Toddle. So ManageBack and Toddle helped us in communicate better with the parents. So all the teaching, learning practices in the school were shared on ManageBack, and the children had free access to the teachers to reach out to the teachers because they were not physically present in school. Okay, and in the same way, Toddle in the primary helped us to bridge this gap between the parents. And I think what worked best for the school, I want to say, is our director, Father Crispino, who renewed the faith of our parents, was when he told parents that no child shall be found wanting in education due to their financial condition. So that was a real bold statement made by the director of the school to the entire parent body. And I think that was the biggest highlight of this year, which I think our parents really had their faith in us. And yes, they have been working with it. Now I'll explain and talk to you about what we are doing as a CAS community. I need to share the screen for that.
Yeah, you have the sharing rights.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yeah, I'm just removing the spotlight. So.
So community service, which you just asked me about.
Meena, we aren't able to see any PowerPoint. If you're sharing your screen, we can't see.
Now, is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, our CAS program is basically about creativity, activity, and service. This is a core component of the DP program in the school. But when we started the DP program and we were working towards the authorization of it, we realized that CAS could be an integral part of the school across all the curriculums. So we took CAS across the school, right from grade 11, which we have now, to the pre-primary, which is the junior KG in the school. So CAS is about creativity, activity, and service. And Don Bosco spent his entire life in the service of youth and the underprivileged. So we had to make service as the heart of our learning at Don Bosco. Our key projects, which we really are very proud of, is our work with the ZP school in Jawhar and the Gupt Dan campaign, which we had. Now, this ZP school in Jawhar is a school located in Palghar, and we got to know of the school from one of our fathers, Father Anacleet, whom Father Crispino introduced to us when he had come to the campus for some meeting of his. And he told us what was the condition of the learning that happened in the rural areas and in his little village there in Jawhar. So then as a CAS team, we visited the school there and we decided to adopt the school, where we looked at exchange of learning between the students and the teachers of both the schools. The teachers of that school wanted to start one section as an English medium section. So along with our teachers, we designed the curriculum for the English medium section. We wanted our children to understand what was the condition of the children in the villages in the country, and they were the privileged lot. So we decided to have this exchange program where once a month we took our children to the school there, and they learned from those children Warli art and basket making. And in turn, our children taught them computer skills and English speaking skills. So these are our students in the ZP school, learning Warli art from the ZP school students. And at that time, we realized that the school required a computer lab. So when we had our, as I said, our PTA organizes a lot of events in the school, we decided that these events should be made fundraising events, and the funds should go out to the community. So at the last Mistletoe Magic, which we had in 2019 for Christmas, we raised around 8 lakh rupees, with which we funded this entire computer lab, which you see on the screen, the furniture and all that they required. And it was really useful during the pandemic when the children could come to class and learn and use these labs. At the same time, the school has also asked us to help them provide toilets for their children, because they are not, there are just 2 toilets there. So this Christmas, our parents and our children, when we sensitized them about the needs of the community, they were not coming to school, but we managed to raise around 2,15,000, which will now go into providing water, less toilets to these children, because water also is an issue. So we are working with Friends in Need India to create these toilets which will require less water. Gupt Dan, another initiative of our students, which we are very proud of. Now, children in their business studies class saw a video which was shared by the teacher from NDTV, where an entire family committed suicide during the pandemic because of lack of food. So it gave rise to this initiative, which came from 3 children of our school, who at that time told me that we will collect rations for these children, for these families, and we'll give it. But we thought that if they just tried it at their level, it may really not help. So we took Guptadan as a school initiative, spoke to our children about it and our parents, and we managed to provide rations to around 1,000 families, which also included the family where the entire family had ended their life. Only the father was alive during the pandemic because of lack of food. We managed to find who was that parent, and we reached out to that village and that parent also. Now, these are the other initiatives of the school which children have been doing. World Wildlife Day, do one thing today. So what is that they are doing for wildlife conservation? So here's the Padlet, which talks about their one act to take care of wildlife. There's another initiative of gratitude, which they show to our community helpers. There's lots more to this, but I've just cut it short. Again, grade 3 and 5, they are working with welfare of stray dogs, because we know that during the pandemic, a lot of stray dogs were found because they were abandoned by the families, thinking that COVID is spread by animals too. So what is the help our children could do and reach out to the community of our little friends around us? This is a child from junior KG who understands a responsibility towards animals from an inquiry on the animal kingdom. Grade 4 also created a model on sustainable development which produce electricity at an economical rate. The pet project now, which is ongoing, is with Angel Express. Now, Angel Express is an NGO which works with, again, children of the, can't say abandoned children, but children who are underprivileged and do not have access to regular schooling. So they help these children from grade 2 to grade 10. So on Saturdays, now as I'm taking this, our children are teaching the students of Angel Express. I think today they are teaching them coding is the first class. Before this, we had a session on Scratch where they teaching the community of children through a Zoom platform. They also taught them Duolingo, which is about learning languages. They also taught them how to use Canva. So this is the ongoing project where we are working with the community, helping them learn apps which they haven't learned. This is Canva poster creations. This is Duolingo. And lastly, the Crackbox and Mentimeet also, which is initiated by our students of grade 12. Crackbox is about reaching out to the community of students who require help, and Mentimeet is about mentoring children who require help. This could be an IGCSE child, it could be any child in the community. So as our patron Saint John Bosco said, everything and everyone is won by the sweetness of our words and works. We at DBI strive to follow his teachings in whatever we aim to do. Thank you so much, Jayashree.
Thank you, Meena. Some great initiatives by your students there. And I'm going to now quickly go on to Edgar and then to Swati. So Edgar, can we listen to you about how you kind of took sports as a medium to create community partnerships and partnerships with parents? We know one of Don Bosco School's strength is sports. And it is really interesting that you leveraged your strength, that is sports, to kind of build community relationships and also with parents. So can we listen to how you did it and what has come out of it as a benefit for your students?
Thank you. Thank you to Adyan for giving us this opportunity to speak about building communities. So as you know, Don Bosco is very passionate. The parents who come to Don Bosco, they are very, very passionate about sports. In fact, many of the parents that come because of the infrastructure that we have and the sporting culture that we have in our school. So that attracts them to our school, and why not use that as the best, as a medium to create, to make a community that was bound together. So participation in sports can be a great relationship builder. Okay, and using that medium, to make our community, to build our community together is what we are trying to do and what we have done. Initially, we had a lot of sports programs that we had, but there was no community, what do you call it, partnership from the parents or from the other stakeholders. But over the years, we realized that, you know, if we have an inter-house, let's say an inter-house tournament for the students, why not have the same inter-house tournament for the parents as well? This was accepted wholeheartedly by the parents, and they were so thrilled and so happy about the whole thing. It kind of created an ecosystem of trust on the sports ground. And then we continued. So this community sports is what we are doing besides our other sports programs that we do. We have identified the objectives of the community sports. One is to promote physical activity, develop a sense of healthy competition, and what is pertinent today is fostering community connections and building teamwork and team spirit. So we are able to achieve a lot on that area. Just some of the activities which would give you an idea of what happened in the last 6-8 months. So just yesterday, in fact, we had a cross-country, inter-house cross-country race, which was a relay race in our school campus. And besides the students that ran, the parents also participated. So it was really nice, and everybody was, you know, but of course we had to unfortunately cut the numbers because of the COVID condition. So we had to restrict, so it didn't become like a big event. So we had to break them up, unfortunately. That is what we did. Then in the pandemic, during the pandemic, we were wondering, I kept talking to the students. Their main concern was, sir, what about sports day? I said, see, sports day is not going to be possible this year, but let us see how the situation pans out. And there were some really good suggestions that the students gave us. You know, one of the suggestions, we took it up. We had something called the Boscothon. This is an idea that came from one of the students. It was a mini marathon that we did, and all the stakeholders participated, from teachers, support staff, parents, grandparents, students. Everybody participated, and they had to run the distance according to their age and according to their grades. And it was a lot of fun. They had to record the distance, the run on a device and send it to us. And we gave points to the houses for the maximum participation as well as for the fastest runners. So that idea came from the students, a really brilliant idea. The parents have their own initiative. As I said, they're very fanatical about sports and they're really passionate about it. So they have, every year they have something called the DPPL, which is the Don Bosco International School Parents Premier League Cricket Tournament. This is the 4th year that it's happening. It's quite on a big scale. It happens over 4-5 days, and the teams are made from different grades. And it's like a festival where everybody comes together and they play, mothers play and fathers, the 2 different teams. And it's been the 4th year. This year we actually had an idea of doing 2 more tournaments, which was basketball and football. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened. Maybe next year, once things ease off, that will happen. Going back a little, we had, just before the pandemic, we had our sports day, and we had something called the sports festival. This time, the main performers were our students. So they took part in a multi-sports event, which lasted for 6 hours, where they played. It was an inclusive sports fest, where every student played at least 2 sports, and they kept rotating around the campus, and the students and the parents and the teachers and everybody. There was such a good atmosphere in the school, such a positive vibe, and there were a lot of relationships built on that day, and everybody was very happy, especially our students. Some of the parents had not seen their students playing certain sports, and they said, wow, he can play that sport. And you know, they were quite overwhelmed with the whole experience. So see, these are some of the initiatives we have taken last year. There were many more initiatives we wanted to do, but because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to do that. Having said all of this, we still have a long way to evolve this community sports that we have started. We have still a long way to go, but we had plans of opening, you know, sports clubs. That means once every month we'll have a runners club or cycling club, and a trekking club where all the stakeholders come participate. We'll have a sports club where they play football, basketball, cricket. These are some of the things which are put on hold right now. And at the start of the year, that is at the beginning of next month, just after spring break, we'll be having a seminar or a webinar of sports and the way forward, where we will be brainstorming with the parents on the future of sports in Don Bosco. So we will be having that, and a lot of suggestions will be, I'm sure the parents have a lot of ideas. So we want to just brainstorm and see what is the best, especially in case we still are online. So going back to the online setting, we had a lot of issues because, sports is not supposed to be online, and we had a issue of, sir, we are online doing exercise. I tried to explain to them there's no other option. So we kept listening to the parents and the students. So initially we started with a generic fitness program, making them do exercises. After about a month, they did that. They said, sir, we are fed up. This is not happening. We don't want to do this. So we changed it. We changed the program. We introduced sports in the program. We introduced different games, basketball, football. Then we got parents telling us things are breaking in the house. The neighbors are complaining. A lot of other issues. Then we had to revert back to our fitness program. But this time what we did is we opened the platform. So instead of just doing one type of fitness, we did many things. So we introduced yoga, mixed martial arts, aerobics, dance, Zumba, all these things we introduced so that the students, and they seem to be happy for some time, but then they always wanted to come back on the ground. And one more very important thing is just before, when the notice came from BMC, in fact, we were planning to open the playground for the kids to come in, but we were waiting for the notice to come from the corporation, whether we could open. And as soon as that opened, we had already done our groundwork actually. We had sent a Google form to the parents and asked them how many would like to send their child. And we got about a 25% okay, which we said, okay, that's not bad, we'll start. Many of the parents were skeptical. By the end of 1 month, we had about 80% coming to school. And then the second wave has hit, and now again we have kind of baked it.
Yeah, thank you, Edgar. So I think a lot of initiatives there, and I can see the clock ticking. So we can, I know it's sports is of strength for your school, and very wisely you've kind of leveraged it, because sports is also a great thing for kind of team building, and that's really worked for you. So if I could just quickly move on to Swati and ask her, of course we've heard Meena as well as Edgar say about how parents have been involved, but from a parent's lens, if we could hear your story as to how you've been involved, and you're talking for the whole parent community of Don Bosco International School. So what is it that parents get out of this, and how does it really benefit student learning? So because we see that parents do come into school and do a lot of things, you participate in a lot of activities, you have a lot of ownership, but how does this ultimately benefit student learning? If you could tell a little about that.
Sure, Jayashree. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sure.
Yes, very well.
Okay. May I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So, when Jayashree, we did talk about this earlier, I put together some points on how, DBIS leverages the parent community to enable smooth and effective schooling for our kids. So I found, when I gave it a good thought, I found that there were these 5 things that they are doing really, really well. The first thing that I would like to talk about is inclusion. So the DBS staff and teachers and the management has a unique ability to include the entire parent community while they are planning and executing their initiatives. And these initiatives can be something as basic as deciding a change in the timetable, or it can be as elaborate as Guptadan, like Ms. Meena talked about, or the science exhibition she talked about. For example, when the academic year began this at COVID time, parents were highly concerned about the amount of screen time their children would have to, go through. Now, keeping this perspective in mind, the school began with only 3 to 4 sessions with breaks for the primary children. However, as virtual classrooms have become a reality, and in order to provide more inputs additional inputs, school suggested that they would want to enrich the timetable by including physical education, genius hour, music, art as well. So parents were not only informed about the intention of this, but also the principal, Miss Nina, and the PYP coordinator, Miss Gladys, they both got on to video calls to listen to and address all the concerns that the parents had. So therefore, the school was able to go ahead with enriching the timetable in sync with the parents. So, even large events when Guptadan and science exhibition gets organized, the school begins with talking to the PTA executive committee. So those members give any suggestions or alterations to the plan if, they see that, okay, any edits need to be made. And following from that, the school sends out communication over emails, over Toddle, and then parents are even gotten onto video calls for this, things like science exhibitions. And then the school brings about a partnership by laying out very simple and easy to understand instructions for us. So subsequently, not only parents, but the extended family is also invited for initiatives like Guptan and science exhibition. So this entire process of inclusion, it made us feel like we are involved in the planning and decision making of the school. And therefore, we feel like, okay, we also own the education for our children along with the teachers and the school. The next thing that I found really nice is the personal touch that the school ends up putting. I mean, there's a very famous quote that I remember by the poet Maya Angelou. She says that I've learned that people will forget what you said, but people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So I think DBIS puts in a lot of thought into how they make the students and the parents feel. For example, during Christmas, the school distributed gifts to all the students to live up to that Christmas tradition and bring a smile to the children's face, even in this pandemic condition. It was really a very pleasant surprise for the children and the parents. And the gifts carried a personal message of affection for the children. It was really nice to receive that kind of personal touch from the school. Even when larger issues, grave concerns arise, for example, in the beginning of the academic year, some parents were really concerned about the amount of assignments our children were getting. Within 24 hours of raising this concern, we found that the principal and the coordinators got onto a group video call with us. And they listened to the parents, understood our points of view, they noted feedback, they suggested workarounds, and they shared best practices from parents who were able to manage those assignments as well. So this kind of personal attention by the seniors, by the principal, the coordinators, as well as the teachers, it makes the parents feel heard, that we are important, and that the immediate action that they take, that mitigates any cause for further resentment on our part. Another thing
Swati, if I could just if you could just finish it in a minute, another minute. Yeah.
Sure. So, I was talking about the variety. I spoke a little earlier. Whenever we have any sort of initiative, there are a lot of ways in which the school ends up communicating with us, because there are all kinds of parents. There are parents who are highly involved. There are parents who are obsessed, and there are parents who are, not really in touch with the school as well. So school makes a lot of efforts on written communication, like Toddle with mailers. We also have a lot of verbal communication through PTA messages and video or phone calls. The school also does a lot of creative things, for example, there are language-based events like Hindi Divas, there are academic events like Mathalon, science exhibition, there are national events celebrated, sports events like Edgar spoke about, and parent-specific interactions like Miss Meena spoke about, the coffee with me. So these kind of events, show the parents the amount of effort the school is putting in to enrich the students holistically. We know we are getting a good word for the investment we are making in the school, and that's why we also end up partnering with the school when they have these kind of events. Lastly, I was talking about planning a little while earlier. So the planning is what also helps the school do really well with the parents. For example, when online classes started, we had a lot of sessions for parents on how to use all these platforms like Zoom, Google Classrooms, Toddle. We also had group meetings with parents like Coffee with Me, where we were explained what do you mean by central idea, what are lines of inquiry. So all the IB uh, themes and methodologies were explained to us really well. So as a holistic, this holistic thinking comes only when a team makes time to plan and figure out the aspects of a situation. So I'd just like to sum it up by saying that what DBIS has built with the parents uh, is something that has made learning such a pleasure for our children, even in these trying times. So that's the synergy which they have built with us, and it's truly appreciable at these times. Thank you.
So thank you. So what I feel when parents are in the loop and when the school keeps the parents in the loop is that, they are in the know-how of things. And so expectations for kids at home become clear. And so they have to take more accountability of their own learning. And so in that sense, they have to give their best. So I think that is how keeping really parents as a part of school functioning probably helps, and ultimately children do benefit. So a lot of sharing there. So I would request the audience to go on to the Mentimeter link and quickly type in what have been some of your learnings from Don Bosco International. So, and as you do that, I also want to kind of tell you that, just like the community of practice, which is a collaborative platform, we also want to kind of go ahead with keeping the spirit of collaboration and support alive. And we request you to approach us for any burning issues that you have in your school, anything that you feel stuck with, any new ideas or new initiatives that you want to take, and how you, and if you're really stuck about how to do it, we would really, really love if you could approach us for a free consult. And of course, we do not really claim that we are experts and we have the solutions to all problems, but certainly since we are working with a variety of schools and a huge multitude of schools, what we can certainly do is probably give you ideas which have, or solutions that have worked with others in other schools, and kind of help you adapt it for your school. So that we can certainly do. So we really look forward to you getting in touch with us for a free consult, and we would love to be of support to you. So and
Jayashree, one last word by Father Crispino.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because Father Crispino had said, I'm just going to be an observer. I'm not going to talk. But Father, we can't let you.
We can't let you do that.
Yeah, I really thought I would escape it, but you caught me in the end. No, I'm just looking. I'm really amazed at the Honorgar School. Yeah, and I see a lot of similarity between what is happening there and what is happening in DBIS. Yeah. So basically, as I put on the chat, I think the key to the whole thing of a good school is a very strong leader. Yeah. So both the schools have got very good principals who are ready to collaborate with all stakeholders. And the common factor in both the schools is the Adyan team. So if you have a good organization like Adyan, who explains to you what a good school is, because I've been with Adyan now over nearly 7 years. I have seen schools that have adopted Adyan and schools that have felt Adyan is a threat. Schools that have adopted Adyan have gone from one level to the next. And schools that have found Adyan as a threat have remained where they are and even dipped even low. Yeah. So kudos to Adyan for having opened our eyes to see what a good school looks like, and the review is really helpful in that sense. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Father Crispino. We actually didn't expect an endorsement, but that's lovely to hear.
Can I just say, you are a great Adyan assessor. I can think of so many occasions where we've spent time together in the Northeast, up in Panchgini, actually enjoying the time away from the school as much as in the school.
Yeah. No, it's been a great journey, but I think as educators, we need to personally, what I do, I don't do, because all the working is done by Meena and the team. Yeah, but as the director of the school, I only inspire, I motivate, and then I support. I think these three things as a leader you need to do. Then everything will go on well.
Can I add a small word?
Please.
Father, that one statement which he made at the orientation, I thought had a big impact on what happened this year. And I truly believe that because we have people like Father in the school is what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah. So yes, I think this has been absolutely wonderful for us all. And thank you, Jayashree, for making this the most, I think the parent voice here was just brilliant.
Yes.
It was brilliant to hear the initiatives. And Swati, thank you so much for having agreed to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kanan, and Suresh ji को भी हमारा बहुत सारा thank you and बहुत सारा प्यार देना. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the Saturday evening. Please do fill your feedback. There is a feedback form, and feel free to also get in touch with us. So thank you, Edgar. I hope there are no sweats there. Thank you.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Kanan.
Thank you, Adyan. Thank you so much.